the Demon Deacons have been waiting and finally the moment is coming and the opening of the season. And he takes this from inside the 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. So the Charlotte 49ers offense will go to work first. And guys, defenses have been trying to figure out for years how to keep this guy from getting open, and they just can't seem to solve the riddle.
No, this guy has experience. He's been in the big moments, and it's so nice to have a guy that's been in your system, in your scheme. He knows the in and outs. You can move him all over the field. You can't place a premium high enough on a guy that knows the system inside and out.
You're right, and tell you, it was a great day for...
And the defense makes a play, and they get the quarterback down at the 26.
And all defenses talk about it. Sacks, tackles for a loss, affecting the quarterback the best way you can. The first drive of the game, already getting home. Nice start for this defense.
The 49ers trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Trying play action. He lofts it high and deep down the left side. And it's an incomplete pass on the deep shot, but the flag is down. Let's check the call. Holding penalties, the ultimate drive killer. We'll see if it costs this offense here. Second down, he'll throw it. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. Third down coming. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a fourth down. And the 49ers will line up to punt it away. Looks as if they might have a little something going on that drive, but they'll have to kick it. They make the stop, and that is exactly what you want out of your punt cover unit. So Wake Forest's offense has its first opportunity of the day. And, David, they've got a guy in the backfield that certainly is capable of carrying more than his share of the weight in this offensive attack.
Yeah, he's a piece, but I would argue this, Reese. Like, you need to get the ground game going. For this offense to be successful, they need a physical tone.
Always got some space. Let's take a second here and talk Wake Forest. The only important expectations are the ones inside the program, but when you start the season on the outside of the rankings looking in, it can give you a little bit of an edge, can it?
Yeah, they want to prove to everybody they should have been ranked coming into this year. These players are angry. They feel like they're being disrespected, and they want to make a point to the entire college football world with a big win today.
Yeah, and you hear it all off season, and you see it every year. The teams come out of nowhere, and they feel like they've got a lot of potential, a lot of high-ranked players on the squad, and they're going to put it together, and that they'll get themselves into those rankings.
Off play action on first down. Got it in the middle. It's strong. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down.
Nice quick throw there. It's so important for quarterbacks to be able to find a rhythm and to be comfortable and confident. You want to just get the ball out quickly, make it an accurate and easy throw. And you can tell that these two guys, they rep that play in practice all the time, and it's now showing up here on game day.
He's got it on the right. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. The Demon Deacons want to move quickly. Back to pass on second down. Tight end finds a soft spot. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few. And the Demon Deacons come to the line on third and short, trying to keep the drive alive. They're working that left side. That will be enough to move the chains and give them a first down in the red zone at the 14. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The Demon Deacons will line it up on 1st and 10. Running behind that left side. Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. Going to work on second down in the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Quick step and go. Down to the 3-yard line, and that's where they'll have it the Demon Deacons pounded the rock to move the sticks, now back to work. Trying to punch it in. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. Can the defense stop them again on 2nd and goal?
It's now 2nd and goal.
Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Back to pass. Here comes the heat. Oh, and he got drilled as he just got rid of the football. They've held this ball forever, driven it deep, now facing a 3rd and goal. From the gun, wants to pass. Under fire. And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19.
And that is how you get it done. 3rd down, it's the money down, right? We got to be at our best. How about the monster sack on 3rd down?
Now looks as if they'll settle for the field goal try. And he'll kick for the 3 from 36 yards out in the right hash. And this one splits the uprights. And with that, they break the seal on the scoring. It's 3-0.
You're feeling really good about that, right? Brand new season, first drive of the year. The juices are flowing. You march the ball down the field. You don't get a touchdown, but at least you come away with 3 points. Very positive start to the year.
From inside his own 10, let's see what he gets. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Charlotte has the ball back. The 49ers offense will return to the field. Firing to the right, complete. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that 1st down mark. Going to sling it on 2nd down. I don't think that's the way they drew it up. Incomplete. The 49ers come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep the drive moving. They're going to go to the air on 3rd and short. Get it out on the screen. He'll make a play on 3rd down. He's got enough for the 1st as they mark it at the 32. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw on 1st down off the play fake. Using the quick game. And a pickup of 8 opens a world of opportunities on 2nd and 2. And the 49ers with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. He hurls one deep down the left side. Grabs it at the 25 in stride. And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Niners!
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
On to attempt the try.
Kicker is on for the extra point.
And the extra point makes it 7-3. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Guys, let's get you up to speed on what's going down in this fun college football game today. UAB is putting on a show offensively. They've built up a comfortable lead against an opponent that's really been outmanned. They're up by 21 over Troy. For now, it's back to you fellas, but of course, if anything changes, you'll see it right here.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage. The Demon Deacons are in the hurry-up. Guys, let's step back for a moment and talk a little Wake Forest. Everybody uses the portal to varying degrees. Sometimes you just fill the exact right hole that you want. And this team, as they start this season, not a ton of new faces here, Jesse.
They didn't, but I don't think it's because there was a lack of effort on the part of the coaches, David. I think they believe they've got the roster in place now to have success.
Yeah, because when you bring people in, a lot of times you tick people off on your own roster. So when you only bring a few in, you cherry pick some elite talent and some real concerns that you have, sometimes it just addresses everything you need.
He'll be content with the field position, making the fair catch right around the 30-yard line. Charlotte will send the offense back onto the field. Off to a good start here and back to work now with a 7-3 lead. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line? Solid pickup of 4 on first down at 2nd and 6. The play action fake. Oh, he's going to take a shot at the DB. And that's going to be incomplete, going for broke on 2nd down, but 3rd down's coming up. From the gun, wants to pass. Back open in the middle. And they'll pick up the first down and mark it at the 47. The 49ers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Off the play fake on first down to throw. The quick out. He'll go out of bounds right at the 30-yard line. A big play as this offense in business.
QB, excellent location on that throw. Out route against man coverage, you cannot miss. If you throw that behind, that might be a pick 6. So nice job by the quarterback with his accuracy.
And the 49ers are moving quickly down the field. Looking to throw on first down. Got him downfield. He was smelling that end zone, but they get him down at the 4 after the big pass play.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
On the option. He'll toss it. Touchdown, Charlotte. How about this back staying on track and getting it in on the option?
Yeah, and now this offense building that lead. It's still the first half, but I tell you what, shown some glimpses of why they can become a really, really good offense. Listen, you go into halftime, more of the same, right? Continue to do what you're doing, take care of the football. This offense has looked really good in the first half.
And the extra point makes it 14-3. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he's coming out of the end zone. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Looking for space, it's Stevens. That hole closed quickly, a pickup of 1 to the 15. And the Demon Deacons will hustle to the line.
And that wasn't a big game, but look at the offense. Right back on the ball, ready to call a play, ready to go fast.
Quarterback gets the first down. Gets him on the ground at the 31, but a nice pickup of 15 yards there.
And this QB, man, how about it? It's a pass play. He's dropping back to pass. He realizes it's man-to-man, and as they start to chase their guys down the field, well, nobody's got me, and I can just take off, and I've got speed. He chews up ground so easy, so frustrating for a defense to have to deal with a guy like this.
Steps away to find some room. He gets the job done, picking up the first down, then getting down. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. To the air on first down. And the pressure is going to get to him, and down he goes, and that's how the first quarter will end. Time has expired here in the quarter, and it's Charlotte on top. Really strong performance so far to be able to build a lead here in the first period as we look at the stats. This could be a pivotal moment in this game as we open the second period and they try to find a way to answer. So second down here as we're back at it after the break. Looking to fire. Pucks it out of the air. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. On third and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Makes the grab on the left. They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's first down.
And after that long completion for the first down, did you see everybody sprinting to the line of scrimmage offensively? They want to go tempo right now.
The stop is made, but this offense is threatening. First and goal from the 9. Wants to throw again. Pressure coming. Touchdown, Wake Forest. Quick strike through the air for the score.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy.
And let's hold on just a minute here as the officials are going to have a second look. And the play will stand after the replay booth just does a little double checking to make sure. And it's up and good as they draw just a touch closer. They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? Here he comes from inside his own 5. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down at the 26. Charlotte has the ball back. The 49ers offense will return to the field. They saw what happened on that last scoring drive and now probably feeling a little bit of heat to answer. Runs ahead and powers his way for 4 yards out to the 30. Wants to go up top. Makes the catch. He'll be stopped at the 41, but give him 10 on that play. They'll put it in play from the 41 on first down. Use the play fake, now to throw. Pocket breaking down. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Couldn't connect on first down, now back to the air. He let that thing fly quickly, but he couldn't make the connection. They've got a good chunk of ground to cover on 3rd and long from the 41. Here's the snap, ready to cut one loose. Makes a man miss. Out of bounds at the 49-yard line, but not before getting it into opponent territory. Let's send the tight end in motion. Looking to throw on first down. Complete. Knocked down immediately, but a nice pickup on that one. The 49ers in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Leaves it with the back. And he's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage by the big defensive tackle. Let's see what they do here on 3rd and short from the 41. They'll try to get it through the air. Just gets rid of it to the running back underneath. Putting together a real scoring threat here as they pick up the first down at the 36. Power football with the run. Had to work to pick up 3 down to the 33-yard line. After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. To the ground with the back. There he goes. Stop is made at the 22. A 10-yard pickup and a first down just outside the red zone. He'll pull it on the read. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Defense has to be frustrated. The offense keeps matriculating and matriculating and matriculating the ball down the field. And the defense makes a play, and they get the quarterback down at the 26. They'll tell you that somebody's always going to pop open, but it didn't happen in time before they got the sack.
No, it did not. And you know what? I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember zone defense. They didn't really have an answer. They weren't ready to get rid of the football. Quarterback hesitated. I got to him and got him on the ground. Might be a good call later on in the game.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, no secret what he needs here. Makes the grab and there's room. Touchdown 49ers. A great catch and run for 6. You want to keep your offense on the field, wear down the defense, put that tape on and show it in a clinic. That's the way it's done.
And as a defense, man, there's nothing more demoralizing. You can handle it when you give up 3, but to give up the touchdown at the end of a long drive, you're already exhausted. You've already been punked the whole way down the field. Man, that's frustrating.
And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. UAB is lighting up the scoreboard right now thanks to a dazzling offensive display. They're up by 35 over Troy. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. They're dealing with a second and long. Now the play fake. Here's a heat. Oh, and he took a shot as he threw that one away. Now backed up in their own end, it's third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. On the move, he fires. And it's picked off by the defender, but he's out of bounds. Couldn't get the foot down, it's incomplete. The Demon Deacons will call on their punt team. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. He'll settle for some pretty good field position and make the fair catch at around the 35. Charlotte will send the offense back onto the field. He'll do it himself. That's a fumble. And the defense jumps on it and they get that turnover.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's hard to be a quarterback in an option offense, but you got so many things you have to be accountable for, and then you got to take care of the football, right? When you do make the decision to run, right or wrong, it's your decision. Now you got to wrap that thing up. You can't fumble the football.
Couldn't ask for better starting field position for this offense. The give to the back. They work that running game down to the 34. Let's give him 3 on the carry. And the Demon Deacons want to crank the tempo.
Defense came into this one knowing they were going to see some tempo. They've got to get the call from the sidelines, get it communicated, get lined up.
He's out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Ball marked at the 26. It's 1st and 10.
When offenses get first downs like this and they move the sticks and they get some momentum, look at what they do. They put their foot on the gas, run this no huddle, get to the line of scrimmage, and try to capitalize.
Well, they execute the in route. Now, how about the arm strength by the QB? That was an absolute bullet on that completion.
The Demon Deacons come to the line with a new set of downs. From the gun, give on the inside. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. Second down, they'll go to the air. Snags it over the middle. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion. Here on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Here's the pressure. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Demon Deacons.
Football oftentimes gets won by the teams who play the best on the critical down and distances. What an amazing play by that quarterback on 3rd down. Able to put his team on his back, use his legs to extend and buy time, and then go score. Awesome job.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. And with the extra point, every little bit counts as they get closer. So after getting into the end zone on that last drive, they're set to kick it away. On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Charlotte has the ball back. The 49ers offense will return to the field. This time, they need to take care of the ball and maybe extend this lead, David.
And I think you got to look at the positive, Reese. You still got the lead. Now take care of the football. Put a nice drive together, Jesse. You don't have to stress. We're still winning.
I feel like they think that player for player, they're the better unit on the field right now, and they just got to make more plays.
That'll be enough for a fresh set of downs. He gets it to the 32. They'll send the back in motion. Wants to throw on 1st down. Here comes the rush, and they've got it wrapped up at the 28.
That defender is a matchup nightmare for any offensive lineman to block. He's got athleticism, he's got length, he's got flexibility. He put it all on display on that sack.
pass rush has just been relentless, and you can bet your bottom dollar they're about to bring the heat again. Wants to fire on second down. Quickly out to the tight end. And he gets it to the 45-yard line, and that'll be a first down. We've reached the 2-minute timeout. We've got a tight one, and they'll try to build on the lead before going to the locker room. Wants to go up top on first down. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming. Behind the chains now on second and long. After the incompletion, they go back up top. This time it's complete. And he's brought down after a nice gain. This senior showed some serious arm strength firing that one in for the first down. They go to the ground. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. To the air on second down. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit. They couldn't connect on second down, now staring at a 3rd and 9. Rushes on him. A strike downfield. They are on the move as they pick up the first down. They'll spot it at the 28. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. Now on first down from the 28. They'll run it from the gun. And just wedges it ahead a bit before he's brought down. The offense calls a timeout to stop the clock. Backed up now, here's second and long. Back to pass. Fires toward the end zone. And the incomplete pass taking a shot on second down, and they'll be left with a 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws to the tight end. Can't make the grab in this offense, which has been brilliant this season on 3rd down. Doesn't convert this time. It's good. Easy call for the refs. Now up by 7 points here in the second.
And I like the way this defense just finished. And I know they're trailing, but they didn't give up the touchdown. Got a little bit of momentum. Not much time left in this first half, but you got halftime to make some adjustments, come out with some energy, but a nice stop here.
He'll start the return inside his 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. This late in the half, here's the question. How aggressive will the play calling be? Looking downfield on first down. Makes the grab. Makes the grab almost to the first down marker, but a good pickup on that one. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Quickly complete. Gets it inside the 40, brought down at the 39, and they can't stop the clock. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. Looking to throw on first down. Got the back over the middle. He stopped at the 49 after gaining 10. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. To the air on first down. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to fight another play. Just enough time for one final play of the half. Second and 10. He'll throw again. Lets it fly deep downfield. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Thanks, guys. What a scene there in Winston-Salem. What a fine performance we've seen. And there's no more fitting place to begin than with this stud receiver and how he's dominated the first half. Some guys have the ability to elude and evade. This young man is a true 3-level threat. Short passes, the intermediate game, and then the deep ball. He is a problem, and I don't think this defense has the solution. And with that, let's send it back to the guys at Allegacy Stadium.
And the 49ers will kick it off to start the second half. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Wake Forest has it back, and here comes the Deacon offense. They ought to have some confidence based on that first half performance, but they certainly can't let up in a game like this.
And I think this possession is really, really important. And I say that because they had a lot of success, but they're still losing because the defense can't stop anyone. They need to set the tone here in the second half.
And it's exactly that, David. You got to create momentum here early in the second half. You only do that by going out, marching the ball down the field, and scoring right away, trying to put pressure on the opposing offense.
A nice passing game by this offense. The quarterback and the receiver on the same page, in time, in rhythm, creates the big play. And look at, they're right back on the football, ready to run another play.
Not much he could do there. Does pick up 2 to the 34.
A nice job being gap sound by this defense. And here you go. Watch what this offense does. They'll get right back on the ball, and they'll go really quick, so you got to be prepared.
Caught in the backfield. It's Smalls. Oh, and what a move. What a juke, and he makes it past the marker.
Well, the defense makes the tackle. They give up the first down. They've now got to communicate the next play call. They can't substitute because the offense is going fast.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Second down, they'll go to the air. Pulls it in. It's Smalls. Stopped at the 47-yard line, a 10-yard gain, and they'll move the markers. And the Demon Deacons in the hurry-up.
And a nice job finding my wide receiver. And then how about the wide receiver turning into a running back, getting upfield, getting some positive yards, and getting the first down.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Nice job by this defense creating that negative play. That's what all defenses want to do. But look at this. This offense, they ain't scared. Right back on the ball, ready to run another play, ready to make this defense work.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. He wants to throw it again. Looking down the middle. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up. The Demon Deacons will send out the punt unit. And the return man couldn't get to it to make the catch, and the ball will bounce out of bounds. Charlotte will send the offense back onto the field. The give from the gun. Get him on the ground after a 4-yard run out to the 31. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Breaks into the open. And he gets it to the 44-yard line. It'll be a first down. They moved the chains on the ground last time. Let's see if they try to hit him up top. Fires to the wideout. Just flying through the air like a superhero to make the grab. The 49ers will snap it on 1st and 10. Making sure they have good balance, keeping it on the ground. And this one will be stopped for no gain. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. From the gun, he leaves it with the back. Trying to impose their will on the ground as he stopped after a 5-yard pickup to the 33. Out of the gun, the running back has it. Working their way closer and closer, a 3rd down conversion, and they've got it at the 26. Right back to the well. Works his way ahead for about 3 yards, stopped at the 23. Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. Running to the left. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Quite a bit of work to do on 3rd down from the 23, and this D would love to force a field goal try. From the gun, wants to pass. Pressure is on the way, and the pressure has arrived, and down he goes at the 30.
Oh, it's a missed opportunity. You know the quarterback was excited. He saw man coverage. He thought he was going to have an opportunity to to come up with a big play, but up front they could not protect him well enough.
They'll play it safe and try for 3. And after finishing off one drive with a field goal, they'll try it again, this time a 47-yard try. He's got it, showing off that big leg from 47 yards out. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Oklahoma is lighting up the scoreboard right now thanks to a dazzling offensive display. They're up by 17 over Tulsa. We will be multitasking today, boys. One eye on that game, one eye on your game. Really the only way to do it.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Makes the grab. It's Smalls. He stopped just a chain link or 2 away from the first down and sets them up beautifully here. The give to the tailback. Breaks the tackle. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down. And the Demon Deacons headed quickly to the line.
And the defense gives up the first down. And oh, here they go. They're going fast. No time to substitute. Got to communicate quickly and get back on the line of scrimmage.
And a really short game before he gets a whole bunch of company from the defense. Red pass, it's complete. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. And this offense just can't afford not to get the first down here. Already trailing big, and the clock is not their friend. He lost one down the sideline. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's 4th down. The kick is on its way. That thing was down for a while, but the big bounce carried it into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Charlotte has the ball back. The 49ers offense will return to the field. How about that defense getting back there? He'll lose a couple. After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. From the gun, the running back has it. Didn't find a lot of room. Let's give him 2 out to the 20. Need 10 yards on this 3rd down, and they're backed up inside their own 20. From the gun, wants to pass. Bringing the heat. He'll grab the throw to the sideline and step out of bounds after picking up a few. And the 49ers will punt this one away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Fields the punt and tries to work it the other way. This guy is a daring punt return man. He's not going to settle for the fair catch. A solid return. Gets a little bit of ground for the offense. Finds a little space. Turning it on!
I like this idea by the offense going hurry up here. You just had a very nice run. Let's get back up to the line of scrimmage and go fast.
They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. Grab near the marker. It's Smalls. He steps out of bounds, but he's got enough for a first down. New set of downs after the completion. Looking to throw on 1st down. And the heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45.
Man, that's a great example of KYP. Know your personnel. A QB that doesn't run great, trying to get outside the pocket. Nice job by the defense applying pressure and running him down and getting the huge loss.
The Demon Deacons have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Looking to fire. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. When you've already sent your punter out 4 times, at least he knows he's going to get his varsity letter, and his leg might get a bigger workout if they don't convert. He's got it. Just broke the tackle and still on his feet. Steps out at the 34-yard line. Big pickup on that one in this offense within striking distance. And the Demon Deacons have this offense rolling. The give out of the gun. Oh, he's got a chance. They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about.
Hold on.
A very productive play until it was wiped out by that penalty, and they'll go back to work. He'll set up to throw. Catch in the middle. It's Smalls. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. Second down, he'll throw it. Man, did he pay for it with that hit as he got rid of the ball. Seventh play of the drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. He's looking downfield to throw. He'll loft one deep down the left side. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. The Demon Deacons line up to punt it away. They may have to pay him overtime. He's punting for the 5th time today. You'd think they would have had a good chance to down that one deep, but the bounce carries it into the end zone for the touchback. Pulls it, fired, complete. He steps out of bounds, and that'll be the end of quarter number 3. We've been treated to an aerial show by these two guys so far as you check out their numbers. When you're dealing with a deficit like this, it's all about somebody stepping up to make a play, and you might as well start here in the 4th quarter. Wants to throw on first down. He'll pull it down and run. And they won't make the connection going for the big play. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Fires to the big fella. And he was able to get away from one tackle, but plenty of help was on the way. Decent pickup on that play. Pulls and fires complete. They've got it to the 49-yard line, and they'll move the chains. The give on the inside. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Give to the running back. He fought him off for a while, but that's what they mean by gang tackling. It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Quickly to the tight end. He's going to come up about 5 yards short of the line to gain. The 49ers will try to pin them back with the punt. And nobody able to field that punt as it rolls out of bounds. Wake Forest has it back, and here comes the offense. Their drive chart is starting to look a little monotonous. Punt, 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 David. And the Heat gets there, and they get him down at the 14-yard line.
Man, a lot of coaches talk about starting the drive positive and a first play that can get you going. The QB just kept backing up and going backwards, and that is not the start to the drive they were looking for.
And the Demon Deacons now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Back to pass on second down. Gets it to him on the screen. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. Caught behind the line. It's Stevens. Oh, he's got some space. Tackle is made at the 25-yard line, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Down by multiple possessions, you can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on 4th down. Fires one high and deep. Can't find his man. It'll be incomplete, and that is a heartbreaker this late in the game. Finds the tight end. Headed to the end zone. Touchdown, Charlotte. Nice catch and good work afterwards to get it into the end zone.
And this kind of performance has to give this team so much confidence. Week 1, you go on the road into a hostile environment, and you put the beat down like this. This coaching staff is going to be happy on the ride home.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And that extra point is a big one as they now have a 3-possession, 17-point lead in the fourth.
Charlotte, 34. Wake Forest, 17.
And he's going to bring it out. And the return man is stopped, and that'll leave it up to the offense on the next drive. The Wake Forest offense returns to the field. Wants to go up top on first down. Snagged in the middle. It's Smalls. Good pickup, a little bit short of the sticks. The Demon Deacons racing to the line in the hurry-up.
And defensively, this is exactly what you want, right? You got the big lead, so you can play big zone coverages. Just keep the ball in front of you. Keep your eye on the quarterback. Rally to the football. Gang tackle. And you're going to win this game.
And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains.
With you coming into this game, if they throw completions and get first downs, that's when they like to change up the tempo and go fast. You're seeing it here.
Pulls it and fires to the left. And they pick up just a few on that completion. Working well behind the sticks on second down.
Well, and here's the problem offensively, because you're trailing by so much so late in the game.
There he goes! They've got him down at the 40 after he ripped off 15 yards. And the Demon Deacons look to keep this drive humming.
And the offense with a nice run, breaks off a little bit of run, gets a first down. Oh, and here they go again. First down, you've seen this. They like to go fast.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
And this offense gets nothing done on that play, but look at them. They're continuing to run this tempo. They want to try to do something to get a spark going to create a big play.
Across the 50 and down and out of bounds at the 44. A good pickup on that one.
All right, defense, you got to turn the page. You just gave up an explosive play through the air, but here comes the offense going quickly. You got to get lined up now and get ready for another one.
They'll move the wide receiver. Off the play fake on first down. Unloads to the wideout. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. And they explode on that one, and they've got it down to the 22.
And that is the exact opposite what this defense wants. When you have the lead, you can't give up an explosive play or back-to-back explosive plays. Play the coverage where you've got multiple eyes on the quarterback, dropping back, not giving up the big play.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice.
No more time to throw. Quarterback is sacked at the 35.
And it's been a long day for this offense. If you can't protect your quarterback, it's hard to be successful. That's the 5th sack they have given up. The offensive coordinator has no answers, and this defense has been flying around.
The defense all revved up after that earlier sack, and they'll try to stop them right here. On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. Makes the catch. It's Graves. He is not going to get there. Stopped short of the line to gain, and it'll be 4th down. Down in the 4th quarter, it's too late for empty possessions. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. It's incomplete, and the defense comes up with a stop.
It's a turnover on downs.
They'll try to keep this clock moving on the ground. He was looking for some place to put his foot in the ground, but the defense was everywhere, and he's knocked down behind the line. On the move. Breaks into the open. Got enough for the first, and he's still going. And they'll get it to the 39-yard line, and they'll move the chains. The stress that a guy who can run that fast puts on a defense, even if it's a pass play, he has them on edge all the time.
Oh, the D coordinator. This guy gives them nightmares every night leading up to this game, because if you don't have people accounting for him and your eyes go to the wrong place or someone's out of position, that dude is gone.
We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and the clock is definitely on their side. They'll just try to run it out here. Pulls and throws off the RPO. And this one will be stopped for no gain. 3rd and long from the 42. If they can get some of it, it might give them a chance to go for it on 4th down. Got his man. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the 1st down. And the 49ers send out the punt unit. They'll look to pin him deep. It'll bounce out of bounds, and they'll spot it at the 40. They'll start this drive and snap it from the 40. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Quick strike complete. They'll immediately call timeout. The Demon Deacons with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving.
Timeout, Wake Forest.
Wants to go up top. Caught over the middle. It's strong. Offense will use a timeout with 28 ticks remaining. Now it's 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. Looking downfield on 1st down. Pulls it in. It's Smalls. Timeout called by the offense. 23 seconds remaining in the game. Going to swing it on 2nd down. Got a man. And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one. And the Demon Deacons are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. They're going to try to throw for it on 3rd down. Didn't have much of a choice, just had to throw that one away. It'll be 4th down. No signs of any kind of kicker as they'll leave the offense out there to try to move those chains. Fires on the move. Hauls it in easily enough for the 1st down. And they finally make the tackle, but this will be a pretty easy conversion for this offense. Likely a lost cause, but they'll throw it again. Under fire. And down he goes, and that's going to do it. Didn't have much of a chance there, and the defense puts an exclamation point on this one. We waited so long to start the season, and just the way you want to start, getting that first victory.
And the first games are so much fun. You've been practicing against each other over and over all through camp. Now you get to come out, start the season off 1-0, Jesse. Great start.
It was a great start for the winning team. Now, for the losing team, obviously not the way you want to get into this season. There were some mistakes with execution, and guys are going to have to do a better job individually. But that's why you play the games. You get to now go back to the drawing board, get back on the practice field, try and iron out these wrinkles. It's a long season ahead. Lot to play for.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.